After some time in the drug squad and in the B&E squad, I was eventually promoted to sergeant, where I was transferred back to uniform for about a year. And then after a year, I applied to go back into the drug squad as a supervisor there, and worked for some time as a sergeant in the drug squad, and then applied to go back into the break and enter unit as a detective. Detective and sergeant are the same rank, but you're classified one or the other, whether you're doing supervisory or investigative work. The street crimes branch consisted of 4 other units, or 4 smaller units: the auto squad, the morality unit, the break and enter unit, and the pawn shop unit. I had spent some time in the pawn shop unit as a constable, also in the morality unit. I never worked the auto squad. The break and enter branch is where I spent most of my time investigating break-ins and doing different projects and sting operations in regards to stolen property. Being an investigator in the street crimes branch, it was also my job to train the constables who were on the promotional list. I had to teach them investigative skills, things like how to write search warrants and how to do their own investigations, processing prisoners, and doing court files. After street crimes, I was transferred into the fraud unit, which also contained the arson unit. And that was my goal, was to become the arson investigator. It was a one-man job, but I enjoyed the time working alone and not having to be responsible for a partner or for anybody else. I learned to investigate arsons and find the cause of fires. And in one particular case, I used some information from a fraud case I was working to track down a former arsonist who I arrested for the fraud, and then I was able to hold his charges over his head so that he would become my informant and help me track down a serial arsonist that I was working on, a serial case that I was working on. And the idea for my book Torch actually came from that case. In the drug squad, I learned the importance of informants. I found that having confidential informants helped you get search warrants and helped you solve a lot of different cases. It was completely different than uniform, where you give somebody a ticket and send them on their way. In the drug squad, when you arrested somebody, the idea was to try to enroll them or turn them into an informant so they could help you with the other cases, get the bigger fish in the pond. That was the whole idea. And once you had those informants, you can carry them with you and solve all kinds of different cases.